welcome. I don't know why I'm pointing, but welcome to I don't know, clap too. Inside. What do we call this? Gloves Off 2.0.
For now.
Unless we need a better name.
We can take a fan vote.
We can take a fan vote. We've already used Inside the Bullpen. That had a long run about 10 years ago. Gloves Off 2.0 is sort of the working title now, but send us a name. We're all about it. We have Miss Morgan Bell right here. This cat you always see with a camera in front of him usually. That's Walker Herrold, a.k.a. the professional on our broadcast. He makes all the broadcasts look and sound good and has brought video and a better audio quality to the table this time.
We hope.
He's brought it. Whether it works or not, we're going to find out. I am Chad Seaver, and I promise to start each show with a sponsor. So we do have a sponsor for today. It's the Toyota Music Factory, where April 12th, My Morning Jacket is coming. You guys know My Morning Jacket? You're supposed to pretend.
Yeah.
Love them. They love them. April 12th, My Morning Jacket is performing at Toyota Music Factory. Tickets are on sale at livenation.com. I will be there. I'm landing from Georgia and going straight to Toyota Music Factory from DFW Airport to see My Morning Jacket. I'm excited. I'm fired up.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, you're fired up. You're ready to go.
So this is
ready to go.
I'm pretty reserved, so this
He
is really a lot.
He is a reserve guy. So we had some question posed to us. I had a few in email. There were some comments left on Facebook and I think YouTube even. So we'll hit those. But first, old man's got to put his readers on here. We got to talk about the playoff hunt. We're good. We don't need to worry about us. We have won the division. We had won it last week, as a matter of fact. And the question that remains now is who is the last team to get in? Who's going to be the number 6 seed? Because I believe last night El Paso clinched their playoff spot. Did y'all see that?
I did see.
Okay, good. I'm not making that up. These guys are going to fact check me a lot because I will just throw things out. Colorado is currently holding that 6th spot with 53 points after playing 54 games. El Paso, well, we already talked about them. They've clinched. They're at 59 points. Odessa is, they're close. They've played 55 games and they have 50 points. I think that it's probably looking towards Colorado. If you're a math person, they've got to be above 50% playoff probability. But who knows? This weekend, your Brahmas are off, literally off. They're gone from here. Oklahoma is at Shreveport. That's kind of an insignificant series. I would imagine Shreveport mops the floor with them. Who knows? Oklahoma, I think they're 100% out playoff hunt. I think that's safe to say. But I know George Chalos will have that thing humming next year. Guarantee. Amarillo is in Odessa. Colorado is at New Mexico. New Mexico beat them last night. And then Corpus Christi is in El Paso, which is kind of, I guess, for our sake, an insignificant series. So really the only interesting series, in my opinion, is Colorado at New Mexico because they really need to get points to clinch. And that would be great for a second-year team to have playoff berth.
Yep.
It would be awesome. Odessa, it would be great for them to get back to the playoffs. I think it's been about 14 years since they made the playoffs. So
either way, it's a good.
It would be good. It would be good to see them get in there. And I see they're working. They're doing a lot more stuff on social media. They're getting more fan interaction going. I just haven't been able to string a lot of wins together. So that's the playoff picture for now. We'll know more next week as we lead into the last weekend of the regular season. And next week we'll also probably move things up a day so we're not scrambling on game day.
Yeah.
Morgan has information on a tender, right? Tender?
Yeah.
Tender.
We actually have 4 coming in this next week to skate with the Brahmas. We have Jackson Smith-Connect, we have Jackson Bates, we have Nolan Davis and Eric Alexander.
By the way, look, no notes. She's got no notes. She did that from the top of her head. I'm impressed. Go ahead.
2 Jacksons.
Two Jacksons, yeah. All of them are defensemen except Jackson Bates, who I actually got to talk to a little bit.
Okay.
Bates actually comes from Mount St. Charles.
Yep.
Which, as some of you may know, is where we have had Christian Bentaseque come from, and Maddox Talacro,
Yep.
and former goalie Jack Spicer.
Yep.
So, they've certainly produced good players for us, and we've had their players have success on the team, which is pretty exciting. He's actually never been to Texas, so
Okay.
it's going to be a new experience for him. But I reached out and I asked what was
Where's he from?
Mount St. Charles.
Is that New Jersey? Somewhere up there.
Yeah.
Somewhere up there. Okay. Culture
Yeah.
shock moving to Texas.
Yeah, it's up. It's definitely up
Okay.
north. But
Sorry.
definitely a culture shock. He's definitely got to check out like the barbecue and probably the stockyards, which is pretty much a staple here. But I asked him what made the Lone Star Brahmas different from anywhere else he was interested in looking at, and he's excited to work with a coaching staff whose pride is developing players that have gone on to have great futures, be it D1 schools or pro teams. And so he's looking to kind of see what's made this team successful, what the coaching staff has to offer.
So you want to play pro?
Yeah, he actually said that he would like to take it to D1 and then kind of on from there. But sounds like he's just really excited. He loves the sport of hockey, started because his dad had a big love for the sport and got his brother into it, and he just kind of followed suit. But he was a great kid to talk to, and seems excited to be here. So welcome to Brahmaland.
Coach Murph and Coach Wildfong will make a man out of Jackson in short order. And there's no two better coaches to help him get that D1 dream and on to the next level, which is a good segue, Morgan. You did a good job. One of the comments was, I believe it was Brian Rainsford wanted us to do more and talk about some former players who are out there doing it. So good time to do it. NCAA tournament is upon us, basketball and hockey. We only have technically one Lone Star Brahma guy competing in the NCAA tournament. And if I'm wrong and I miss somebody on a roster, sue me. I'm not a smart man, as Forrest Gump would say. And that is Nicky Nemo, who's he committed to Bentley out of Lone Star, but has played 1 year there, and then he's gone on to Maine. We do have another former Brahma that is competing in the NCAA tournament, and this is hard to believe because it very rarely happens. Like, you can probably count it on one hand. Dolan Gilbert, goaltender for the Texas Brahmas in the NA3HL, is now with Michigan State.
That's awesome.
So that's I guess he developed super fast after NA3. That's awesome to see. Nemo, I think, will be pretty involved with Bentley's offense. Let's see, this year he played 22 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. So it wasn't the scoring. He was way over a point a game for us. I think he is like 1.2 points a game in his 2-year career with us, but he was always healthy, played the whole year, in great physical shape, good energy guy, good locker room guy. I hate to use that generic term.
Yeah,
but
very cookie cutter.
It is very cookie cutter. He got the captain for a reason. Nick Nemo was great, and I don't know if y'all remember, in his last year, this is like 22, 23, we came close to going to the Robertson Cup. We lost in Game 5 against New Mexico, and so he didn't win a ring with us, but he has an opportunity at Maine. So, and they play Penn State tonight, the Nittany Lions, which sounds like a very buttoned up and polished upper crust type of lion. You ever heard of a Nittany lion?
No.
Yeah.
Sounds high class.
They probably say the same thing about Brahmas.
I asked to speak to the manager.
As far as other Brahmas doing things, if you look in the East Coast Hockey League, which is pro, AA pro, so all the ECHL teams are affiliated with NHL teams. Closest one we have to us is the Allen Americans, who are Utah Hockey Club's AA affiliate. Michael Stinnell, who played for Lone Star Brahmas back during their first years in the NAHL, he's with the Wichita Thunder. 72 points and counting this year, and he's got, in 4 years of playing East Coast Hockey League, he's got 250 points, which is crazy. Like
yeah.
he's cooking, and he's competing for the scoring title, which I'm sure comes with a cool trophy or plaque or something. But then Nick Ford is in the SPHL. Actually, in the SPHL, you got a ton of former Brahmas. You know, you got Frankie is in. He's in Macon Mayhem now. You've got Josh Martin, who's up in. I mean, we could go on. There's dozens of former Brahmas in the SPHL, and Nick Ford is at the top of the point standings as far as individual accolades go in the SPHL. He's got 65 points this year in 50 games, so he's literally cooking. And he's a fun trivia note. He is with the Roanoke Rail Dogs, so don't mess with a rail dog, I guess. Nick Ford played for Lone Star, and this is not a shot at him at all, but his stat line was like 0-0-0. Would be the guy that would get in and out of the lineup every other game, every third game, maybe gets 2 shifts late in the game to give somebody some rest. Wasn't really seeing the action. And before the playoffs, right at the drop-down deadline for the NA3HL, we approached him to see if he would drop down with our 3HL team. He did, and he holds the points per game record for that league. So he only played like 6 games with Texas Brahmas, but he scored 18 points. So technically he's a 3-point-a-game guy.
Yeah.
He went down there and absolutely cooked. It was crazy to watch. It was like, who is this guy?
Stat padding.
Yeah.
Absolutely stat padding. He was great. So, and then recently, I made a joke on the broadcast, and I made several jokes about Niagara University being sort of the Brahmas North, because we've had so many players commit to there. I think Capello committed recently to there.
Yep.
You've got Ray Murakami, our captain from last year, champion, and Deeves Rolovs there. Deeves only played in 2 games this year, 0-2 record. As a freshman, he got in some games. They obviously didn't make the NCAA tournament, but he got some games, and I expect to see a lot of him in the future. Ray played in 16 games. He was +6, 2 goals, 2 assists, and 2 penalty minutes. So Ray just continued to do. He makes everybody better on the ice. I mean, we saw that last year. So that's your alumni update. We could spend a whole show on it and talk for hours because there's so many guys out there doing things. Former coaches too. I mean, we very well could see a Dan versus one of his former assistant coaches in a championship at some point, because we have several coaches out there. We'll see if that ever happens. It'd be fun. My money's still going to be on Dan though, no matter what, right? Okay, so questions. This one is the answer will eventually tie in to Morgan. Is someone asked, why do we not have ice girls? Okay. Number one, because we don't want them. That's part of it. It's a huge distraction. We don't have a dedicated locker room space for them. They're going to need somewhere, we've got adult league games after Brahma games. There's just not enough space. We don't really have a place for them to sit. And no other team in the North American League that I know of has ice girls. Plus, there's also the distraction factor. We need our guys locked in and not. They're 19, 20, 21-year-old guys. I don't think they can handle it, quite honestly. But we have had dance teams in the past. We've had promo girls. We would love to eventually tie in and make an extension of the competitors club to bring hockey cheer.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yep.
So look up University of Minnesota hockey cheer. You might see a familiar face. Tori Trezera is one of the captains of that team. And they don't come out with shovels and scoop the ice. They do routines during intermissions. It's a cool thing. Minnesota, obviously, they got
top of the game with that,
they've got it under control. So
they actually do a lot of camps where they bring in people to elite figure skaters from the past who have led all these different seminars and camps for the girls. So they're actually making them better skaters and people on and off the ice.
I mean, they work hard. It's just like being. I mean, they are athletes. Yeah. So that will be interesting if we can ever pull that off.
Yeah. Although we do highlight skaters too.
We do.
So we actually have
So those are our ice girls.
Yeah, one of our graduating seniors coming up is going to skate in a game too. So
who's that?
Lucy Johnmeyer.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Lucy Johnmeyer. They've been around a long time.
Yeah, they have.
Johnmeyer.
Hilliard plays hockey as well, and
Yep.
it's a big skating family for them. So
I like that last name, Johnmeyer.
Johnmeyer? Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very exotic.
Yeah.
Um,
I always wondered why we didn't have volunteer shovelers, like during the commercial break. That's kind of how I took that question.
Like
was
ice
less,
maintenance?
like ice maintenance.
Okay.
Just because at the end of the period,
yeah.
I mean, the puck. You rarely see icing because the puck just gets so stopped up in
Right.
the snow.
In front of the bench is a war
I mean,
zone.
it would be, hard to.
We potentially could do that. I thought it would be fun to find a beer league team every night
Yeah.
and have them out there. So a bunch of out of shape,
Whoever's playing
dads
after
out
the
there.
game.
Yeah.
But
Like the Bull kids. Just
I don't
have,
know
like,
if they could
the-
get on and off the ice in time during the media timeout.
It might be faster than the Bull kids.
Yeah.
Some of those
Well,
Bull kids.
they might be, but they also might be
The
6
adult
beers
version
deep.
of the Bull kids. Yeah.
And then somebody said they wanted to talk about the history of the Brahmas. I think I can do this. Let's see if I can do it in under a minute. No, 30. No, I don't know about 30 seconds.
You got 6 seconds.
Okay, we'll
start
start
at 18.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the history of the Brahmas super quick.
Go.
Okay, go. Founded in 1997 as the Fort Worth Bulls, we got sued by Chicago Bulls for the name, even though there's tons of mascots and team names, the Bulls. So we just changed it to the Brahmas to make a more Texas spin on it. Played in the Fort Worth Convention Center 2006. We were essentially booted out of the Fort Worth Convention Center in favor of the Philadelphia 76ers NBA G League team, which drew about 300 people a game. It was a really good move on the city of Fort Worth's part because we set dark the 06-07 season until the Chisera family bought the Blue Line Ice Center, which is where we sit now, and renamed it to, obviously, the NYTEX Sports Center. Dan was the first coach hired for the Brahmas in 2007. Still the coach, obviously.
That's crazy.
NYTEX won Texas Brahmas won the CHL championship in 2009. That was the first one. We switched to the NAHL in 2013 when the CHL was starting to dissolve. We bought the Texas Tornado and rebranded them as Lone Star Brahmas. We won our first Robertson Cup in 2017. Then last year we won the Robertson Cup, and in 2025, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Did I do it in a minute?
A
Close.
little over.
just
Yeah.
close.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, that was good.
It was pretty close.
That's better than I thought it would be. I thought you'd go probably 2 to 5 minutes.
Doubt me.
I didn't realize that Dan's been our coach since.
Dan
it's
was
been-
We'll
Wow.
we'll have Frank on here sometime.
We might throw up a photo. I might find an old photo of Dan and throw it
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was. I mean, remember he retired from Shreveport in that would have been April of 2007, and he was brought over here 2 months later, and then like the Pied Piper, he brought Blair Manning over here, Craig Menard, the guy that's in that picture
Yep.
right there behind you, Scott Shepard, a host of guys that came over with him because they know Dan's a competitor,
And if you still go to the Shreveport games, they love Dan there.
yeah, his
Love
name's
him.
in the rafter.
Yeah.
His jersey's retired. It was fitting that when Nolan Wildfond got his first game in the North American Hockey League, he did it at George's Pond at the Hirsch Coliseum in Shreveport, wearing number 10, which was Dan's number. So, yes, we've never had to hire a head coach. And for the people out there that have asked if we're going to fire him because he got suspended, no is the answer. And you're all hypocrites because you talk about Dan doesn't belong in hockey, whatever, but I promise you, if there was a coach vacancy with whatever team you're in and Dan's name came up, you would all automatically be like, well, I don't know. That guy's okay. But as long as he doesn't, touch a clipboard, I think he's okay.
You just have to, we just have to strap down any loose objects on the bench.
But he's done a really great job developing players and kind of
It's unreal.
instilling this leadership role in them. And a lot of them, even like you said earlier, the coaches have gone on to have some great success. So
Great success, and that's why players come back. I mean, Roloffs came back. William Graham came back earlier in the year.
returners this year, returners next
AK
year.
was here.
Yep.
Yep, yeah, AK was here. He signed the
Emmons.
bottom of his locker room stall.
There you go.
Fun story. He's a good guy, AK. We miss him. But yeah, Dan is. It's crazy that we've never had to seek out. I mean, at other levels, we do it every year just about. But at the top level, he's our guy and continues to be. So And then the other thing I had was I got a lot of emails. People asked me if I saw the Dallas Stars piece in USA Today. Of course, I saw that. I don't know that comment you want from me. Some bad people did some stupid things and they got caught because it's 2025 and you pretty much can't get away with anything.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah,
I see. Yeah.
funneling money. Yeah, it's bad for them, but
We got a great program here, though.
we got a great program.
Junior
We got a great program
Not
here.
associated.
The
Yeah, not
youth hockey
associated.
world is in a little bit of a state of change, and so we'll see how things go. We're in a state of continuing on though with Lone Star. So we got El Paso coming up, final 2 games,
4th and 5th.
4th and 5th. We'll do a skate with players after the game on the 5th.
The 4th is the police night.
4th is the police night, big night there. We got all sorts of stuff happening, intermission stuff happening. We've
Lots
got
of exciting
skaters.
things.
You John Mayer?
Oh yeah, John Mar. She's in the first round of the playoffs, so the 19th.
Even
yeah.
better. Okay,
But-
well then you got plenty of time. Tickets are on sale for the playoff games that we know about, the 18th and 19th. Any day now, tickets are going to go on sale for the Fort Worth Shrine Circus.
Oh,
Excited
yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
So that'll happen. That's November 6th through the 10th, give or take a day.
Getting it out there early.
Yeah, trying to get ahead of it. And no word yet if they're going to let me be fired out of the cannon, but I'm going to continue to lobby them. That's what I want to do. I want to become a human cannonball.
I'll have somebody lined up to take your spot after that.
Well, you got anything else, Walker?
Not that I know of. Just thank you for watching and supporting.
Yeah.
There it is. There's Morgan.
Couldn't do it without y'all.
That's right. That's right. So send questions, whatever you want. I mean, we'll answer it. I'm not afraid of anything. And I mean, unless you want to get into really complex, like scientific questions, probably not the guy to answer those. But
Keep the hockey.
keep
Yeah.
the hockey. Yeah, we'll talk about
Hockey
it.
and history.
Yeah.
Hockey and NITEX.
There you
Night
go.
Times.
There you go. Okay, well then I got nothing else. Thank you. Be sure to be at My Morning Jacket April 12th.
Yes.
I'll be on the 3rd row, just left of the stage.
Oh, I got
So,
some good seats.
Yeah. Well, I know somebody. All right. I got to go work.